Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to start a new series where I talk about what not to buy at different stores. I want to start this series because even in the clothing brands I love, maybe only 2% of clothing is actually good quality, practical, versatile. And I feel like I always have to filter through the other 98% to get there. In these videos, I want to teach you what to look for so you find clothing that is not only well constructed and high quality, but also clothing that is practical for our lifestyle and easy to repeat wear and restyle. There are so many nuances that I now know to look for that I didn't used to, and I have made so many of these style mistakes in the past, which is why I really want to make these videos to pass along the things that I have learned. This series will look at popular stores, starting today with End of a Stories, and I'll go through and talk about what I don't recommend from the brand, what I wouldn't purchase, and then I'll always end each video on a positive note with a couple of things that I do like from them and I think they do well. I chose to start with End of a Stories today because they're the classic example where there are really high quality pieces, but you just need to filter through all the rest. One of the best selling pieces that I would definitely not purchase is this knit t-shirt. So this is a t-shirt that is on their best selling list. Every time I go to an End of a Stories store, I see this t-shirt, and I feel like I've also seen it for a couple of years, so it's a staple piece for them. One of the most important things to look out for in your clothing is to make sure that the fabric composition is not only high quality, but it matches the design of the piece. This is a 40% alpaca, 32% wool t-shirt, so yeah, it's nice quality, but we've combined that with short sleeves and a very loose design. I'm a knitter, so I work with a lot of different wool fibers, and alpaca is sometimes 3 times warmer than merino wool. So combined with a short sleeve, it's one of the least practical fabrics to have together. Alpaca is also one of those materials where if you have any skin sensitivity to wool, then it's probably not the best thing to have directly on skin in something like a t-shirt. Even if this t-shirt is just beautifully constructed, very soft and lovely to the feel, to be honest, this is a piece that doesn't really meet the versatility I need for my wardrobe, and it's one of those pieces that I'll never wear because there'll never be an occasion where I want that much warmth but in a t-shirt. This is a piece that I would not buy, I would not recommend, but let me know in the comments what you think about it. What would I look for instead? I actually do like, sometimes, wearing a knitted cami or knitted short sleeve, but the combination is that it has to be lightweight. It can't be a thick and cozy material, it can't have mohair, and it has to be lightweight, usually blended with some cotton or linen. That will make it so much more practical, and it'll still give you that textured look for spring-summer. Keep in mind throughout today's video that just because I don't like an item, just because it doesn't work for my climate, my lifestyle, doesn't mean that it can't work for anyone else. The most disappointing pieces at End of a Stories are their dresses. So they sell quite a few styles, and yet as I'm looking through, as I'm trying them on, there's really not a single style that I genuinely think looks flattering and is versatile. This pleated midi dress feels like a classic silhouette for End of a Stories, and it seems to be popular as well. My issue for this is that for a lot of women who are not super tall, who are not like models, I do think that this is a style that is very hard for us to pull off because there's just no definition. It's loose on the neckline, it's got these batwing kind of big sleeves, it's got a relaxed waist, and it hits at a full length if you're petite. It's honestly just too relaxed, even for someone who loves a flowy, loose, long dress. The dresses that work for me have some definition somewhere on the dress. It can be as small as just having a defined neckline or a sleeve, or having some waist definition. The dress basically needs something, and there's really zero definition here in this design. In today's video, I'm choosing styles that I see them do a lot of. So if they just did a couple of dresses in this loose style, I think that's fine. But all of their dresses seem to have taken on this silhouette, and there's a lot of shapeless yet voluminous designs that I think a lot of women will find hard to wear. When I'm looking through the End of a Story selection, I just feel like it's either beach or it's evening, and where are the dresses that can take us from work to dinner to weekends? Where are the versatile pieces? Another very popular style for End of a Stories are dresses where most of the volume and visual weight is at the bottom. So for these dresses, again, if you are petite, it will kind of pull you down and make you look and feel shorter because we're just being so dragged down by that volume. Again, it's just so shapeless, and I think there are so many better dresses out there that we can choose from. Something that's underrated is that if you have a voluminous dress, I think that the neckline or the arms need to be defined. And that makes this dress so much more flattering and easy to wear compared to if it had a big V-neck, batwing sleeves, and just no definition on the bodice. The more voluminous a dress is, so as there is more fabric, more width, I think that the dress needs to have more definition to balance that out. And these end of stories dresses, they're super voluminous with no definition. Potentially a little bit harsh, but something I feel like I see on end of stories a lot are very bold statement pieces that are not necessarily interesting. I feel like sometimes they just throw a huge ruffle on any item and be done with it, and it just doesn't always look like it's that intentional. With florals, sometimes the color combinations and the print is just so incredibly stunning, and with end of stories, they just feel a bit flat. The right ruffle can make something feel so much more flattering, or it can just bring this fun, feminine, flirty feel to an outfit. And it kind of depends on the placement, the style, and how it all works together. Some of these styles, I just feel like it's been slapped on. So to be perfectly honest, for statement pieces, I would go for something a bit more exciting, something that manages to be wearable, yet elevating. So far in today's video, these are all of the things that I wouldn't recommend purchasing from End of Stories. And I feel like a key theme here is that there are a lot of statement pieces that are not so versatile for our everyday lives. So why don't we actually search for basics on their website and see what's there as an alternative. What I'm noticing here is that their basic items are actually quite boring and they're just very plain basics, but they're also a little bit expensive, I think, for what they are. If you want a really beautiful wardrobe, which most of us do, the thing that you really need are elevated basics. Pieces that will function like a basic and can be worn with everything, but they've got the details to stop it from being too boring or too plain. End of Stories really is lacking in this category, and they basically jump from very simple basics to statement pieces. And there's not enough in this middle section, which is the section that I think most wardrobes need more of. When you're shopping at End of Stories to find the very best pieces, you want to look in this category and filter past the pure statement items, as well as a really boring t-shirt selling for fairly expensive. Most of the items that I have purchased from End of Stories falls into this category because I do jump on it when I see a basic that is so versatile, yet so cute. I will be sharing my favorite pieces at the end, but we do have a few more things I wouldn't recommend. I had an End of Stories blazer 5-6 years ago and had a pinstripe. Since that time, I don't think they've updated the blazer design, and they're all the same silhouette. All of End of Stories blazers, they fit quite long. If you're around 5'3", 160 centimeters, they hit a little bit too long in my opinion, and they're not the most flattering length. Oftentimes, the shoulder fits quite well, it is meant to be more tailored, but then through the body it's quite straight and you've got a little bit of room throughout the body. I'm trying on a linen one here. Linen is really nice, it's lightweight, breathable, but it doesn't feel too flimsy. The quality of this is really quite nice, but my issue here is that it is a bit too long and I don't find the silhouette very flattering. If we look at one of the wool blazers from End of Stories, something that I always notice that I don't love is that they tend to be a little bit thick and structured, and they don't have very good drape that I want from a blazer. I believe that this is because it is woolen and not worsted fabric. When a blazer is woolen, I usually feel like it's a little bit thicker. You can feel the furriness of the wool. Versus worsted, it becomes very flat, smooth, and tends to have better drape. So I'm always thinking about this worsted versus woolen fabric. And while they both have benefits, for drape and for how flattering it is, I usually prefer the worsted type of fabric. Once these blazers are on me and not the model, these tend to make me feel a bit shorter. They're not as flattering. They look a bit more bulky, and generally, sadly, I haven't had much luck here either. I used to love End of Stories trousers so much because they were often in really nice materials, whether that's in 100% wool or in linen blends or wool blends. But recently, I would say in the last year or so, I've tried on quite a few styles and there's not been a single one that I've been super impressed by. I used to love their straight leg, slightly wide-legged trousers. I have a wide pair, and if you've seen any video from me, you know which ones I'm talking about. I love them. The ones that they released now are just so much more wide-legged than the wide leg style I used to have. So they've taken their pant trousers and I feel like made them more dramatic. Whether that's because of the current trends or whether they're just leaning into that look, I don't know, but they're less versatile for every day. I think this is the theme of today's video. There are a lot of pieces that they do that are just not that versatile for an everyday, casual, wearable wardrobe. If I scroll through the pant styles on their website, the ones that don't look that wide-legged, once I order them and try them on, they turn out to be super wide-legged and much more so than I expected. The ones that then look wide-legged are just completely ridiculous once I wear them. I hate that everything is wide-legged here. I would love to see a few more straight leg options and something just a little bit more slim compared to these styles. I seem to have complained about the whole website by now, so let's just take a look at what is actually good. I'm wearing this little scallop short sleeve knit top and I've been loving this piece because I think that it's just so fun. It still manages to be versatile in my wardrobe. They've got this one with the multiple colors and they've also got it in navy and white. This piece is made from 100% cotton. It's not a super thick cotton, it's like a light to medium cotton, and it's basically got the perfect composition to work with the style of item. Remember when we talked about that mohair knit short sleeve that had the worst composition, but this one is very intentional and ideal. This piece is already short on sizes and I can definitely see why. This cotton hem skirt is not only made from the most beautiful combination of fabrics, but it's got this cool asymmetrical design. It's easy to wear and I can totally see someone wearing this at work in the summer, but then also wearing on the weekend with a simple t-shirt. It looks not only nice quality, but just a very good, versatile design. I really like End of a Story's pieces made from a linen or linen blend. So this is the perfect fabrication for spring, summer, and it's one of my favorite fabrics to wear. I sleep on linen bedding and it's the most incredible thing. This dress is a rayon linen blend. I love the design of this one. It is very oversized, relaxed, but I think it's got some cool details to make it feel more elevated. I felt enough of the fabrics to know that it's going to be this really lovely, lightweight, but breathable material. I have a linen midi skirt from End of a Stories, and I think you can't go wrong with these. But whether you want to do this midi wrap style or this mini wrap style, I think both of these are super chic options for spring, summer. This is a lyocell linen blend, and this is one of those fabrics that is extremely breathable and comfortable for spring, summer. I've been able to find some really lovely 100% merino wool sweaters at End of a Stories. So I really love this design. I have it in a peach, but I also do it in navy and white for something more classic. 100% merino wool. I've had mine for a while now. There's been minimal pilling, even after, you know, a little bit of wear, and I've been very happy with mine. I even like this little crop cardigan with these mini buttons. This is made from 100% cotton, and it feels like it'll be a cute piece for spring, but I'd probably have to tuck it away for summer. End of a Stories do some amazing striped knits. This one is made from a cotton wool blend and it just looks really, really beautiful. So I've had a cotton one before and it was the best quality knit I've ever had from End of Stories. Really thick in quality, super nice, and I think you can't go wrong with these knitwear pieces. I have to talk about this navy midi skirt. This is the sweetest little skirt. I had one many years ago and I wore that thing to death. So this is a skirt that I would 100% recommend, and you really can't go wrong if you're looking for a midi skirt for spring, summer. I've seen this one in stores and it looks just like the one I used to have. If you enjoy linen vests, I think that this one looks really nice quality. Again, made from that linen fabric I love. I feel like I see these a little bit too much to really want to wear it myself, but I love it in the light yellow color. It feels a bit more fresh and a little bit different to the thousands of vest combinations I have seen. From the top section, there's honestly so many of those huge ruffle tops I talked about earlier. But this one that has a subtle ruffle, some very sweet embroidered details, looks really pretty for the warmer months. It is in black, but you've also got it in white, and I love the idea that you can wear this on the shoulder as well as off the shoulder. I have a navy short sleeve embroidery blouse like this one, and they're just easy, good quality pieces to repeat wear and then throw in the machine and wear again, and they're just fuss free. I'll give a shout out to End of a Story's trench coats as well. These tend to be in really great quality. I've had a couple from them and Every style I've tried so far has been beautiful in quality. The only thing to look for is to look for something that's not too overwhelming. Sometimes they're a bit too long, a bit too voluminous, but other than that, the quality is always perfect. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and are excited for this series. Let me know in the comments which brand you'd like to see me do next. I think it's so important to not just talk about pieces we love, but also the pieces from brands that are just not good enough and truly will be a waste of money if we were to purchase them. If you enjoyed today's video and you'd like to watch more, I've done quite a few of these things I won't buy, things I don't recommend kind of videos, so I'll link them above. And I also have my Instagram where I share style tips 3 times a week. Let me know which brand you'd like to see next, and I'll see you soon. Bye!